Hello, my name is Abimael Martínez. Okay, today I'm going to talk about four different topics related to the subject called teaching through translation. All right, in these 4 weeks, we were working with four different chapters. The first chapter is called A Brief History of Translation up to the 19th and 80s. In this first part, we were working with the history of translation, and also we were working with how translation used to be used by ancient Rome in the past. All right, and the main aim of this first chapter was to understand and reflect the history of translation and how everything was born. Next, the chapter number 2, it was titled Translating or Translation. It was like a question, and the main aim was to understand the process of translating. Okay? Then, the chapter number 3 was called Teaching Translation. In this third chapter, we saw how translation reflect on second language acquisition. Okay? Finally, on the chapter number 4, which is called Translation as a Language Teaching Tool, we saw how to reflect the process of translations on second language acquisition and in everyday practices, okay? So in general, we start at the beginning of the course working with the history about translation, and we end the course working with how to use translation in our classroom, okay? So let's start with the first topic. Now, after working with the four topics of the fourth chapter of this course, we can say a short conclusion. As English teacher, we have the challenge of working with translation. It was said that translation is not bad at all. Sorry. In this case, we can use translation in our classroom as a part of as a methodology, which is very useful. Obviously, that right now in these days in our secondary school, for example, we are told to avoid using translation. But to extent point, I think that translation is not too good, too bad. Sorry. In this case, we can say that translation could be very useful for the students because many of them understand very well when we use translation in many sentences. As a matter of fact, I have seen that many of my students understand very well one topic when we use translation and when use grammar translation. Besides, I have seen that in many cases, when we're working with grammar translation, we use or we have many advantage, as many authors said in the reading. For example, the students can have accurate language, and also they can correct many spelling mistakes, grammar rules, and these kind of things. The point here is that we have to use translation in a moderate way. What I mean is that maybe we can use audiolingualism, we can use another approach in our classroom, including grammar translation. Okay, so in a nutshell, we can say that even though translation have been used in a different ways, we saw that, for example, that at the beginning of the history, many Romans used translation for agricultural trades, and right now we use translation for try to decodify many texts or many signs in another language. Okay, so the point here, as you were told before, is that we can use translation in a good way. What I mean is that we can use translation and also try to mix with another different approach. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have a nice day.